Oh, yeah.
I'm Paul.
I'm Tanner.
And I'm Cole.
Is he just a part of the podcast now?
Yeah.
Are we not even...
Well, no, he's still an intern.
Oh.
Okay, cool.
If he makes one mistake, he's kicked out.
Yeah, my job right now is holding the mic in a car while we phone Tanner over earbuds.
Yeah, Cole and I are recording from a car right now. We're on our way to see Bohemian Rhapsody, which
Have either of you seen it yet?
Yeah, I saw it.
I haven't seen it.
Turn down Tanner a tiny bit.
Okay.
Cole hasn't seen it, and I made him. Just kidding.
Made him?
No, he really wanted to.
Okay.
Yesterday I texted him and I said, do you want to go see Aquaman tomorrow? And he said, sure. I said, or we could see Spider-Man. And he's like, Spider-Man. And then I said, or Queen. And he wrote, Queen! With like 3 exclamation points.
Cool.
Have you seen it?
It looks super good.
You haven't seen it?
Awesome. Huh?
You haven't seen it?
I have not seen it.
Tanner.
I'm poor. I'm a poor college
Go on
student.
Tuesdays. It's $5.
It's $5 on Tuesdays.
Up here?
Well, most theaters.
I'm in Idaho.
I know. Most theaters have a Tuesday discount.
That's weird. Wait,
We
did
have
you
a dollar theater. I'll just wait for the dollar theater.
You have to see it in theaters, though.
I'll see it in the dollar theater.
Okay.
Did you say Spider-Man was awesome? It sounded like you said that. Have you seen it?
Me?
Yeah.
I have not seen it, but my
Oh.
roommates have, and they said that was awesome.
Yeah, I've heard it's good. But yeah, that's what's happening right now with us. We're on the highway. So
Wait, so you're driving right now?
yeah, I'm driving.
Nice.
We're not to the parking lot yet.
Don't die.
All right. Well, that's why Cole's holding it.
Okay.
But anyways, so we're going to see, all 3 of us are going to see Muse in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And so I've been getting extra excited and thought we should do a podcast about it. And their new album is called Simulation Theory, so I'm going to explain what that is later. But right now, we're going to discuss what our favorite albums are, or what we like about this album, stuff like that.
Nice.
So, what's your guys' opinion of Simulation Theory, which is their latest album?
I love it. I think it's definitely one of their best albums.
I agree.
I like, and they kind of explain this in some video while they were releasing songs before the whole album. They said they realized that their music was kind of influenced by old sci-fi 80s movies that they watched when they were little, so they were trying to just emphasize the 80s music more, and I think it sounds freaking amazing.
Yeah, there's a ton of synthesizers and electronic stuff going back to the 80s sci-fi feel.
Yeah.
Have you seen the music videos?
For the latest album?
Yeah.
I've seen... which one is it? Pressure.
Yeah.
I've seen the one for Pressure, but that's it.
The best one.
That is a really good one.
I don't know if I can say I've seen all of them. The latest one I saw was oh crap. What was it? They say carcinated simulation or something. What algorithms? Because that's like the latest one I saw, and I haven't checked in a while.
Yeah, they're supposed to make a video for every single song on this album.
Are they?
Yeah, they
Because
want to.
Yeah, because apparently I noticed that as I was just watching the music videos, I realized that they're like making a story where the next music video picks up from where the last one left off.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, the order is Dig Down, then Thought Contagion, then Something Human, then Dark Side, then Pressure, then Algorithms.
Okay. Keep us updated. I want to look into that.
Oh, yes. Oh, we're pulling over.
We're parking.
In front of Gordman's. There's... I don't... What is that? I've never seen...
I don't know.
Gordams.
DMANS.
Oh.
All right, we are parked, so you shouldn't hear any more car traffic stuff.
Okay.
So what would you guys rank? This is a very hard question, but out of all of Muse's albums, which one's the best?
Ooh.
Now, I am unsure which albums go where because when I look on my phone, my old phone, they're all listed a bunch of unknown albums or something. I'll just say Butterflies and Hurricanes is the best.
Best album?
Yeah.
That's not an album.
Oh, wait, no, not Black Holes and Revelations.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got those mixed
Okay.
up.
That's probably... Well, you go, Tanner.
This is hard.
I know.
I'm looking at them right now. Probably Black Holes and Revelations.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I love a ton of the songs on there, but especially Starlight was the first Muse song I ever heard. And ever since then, like, the day I heard that became my favorite song and they became my favorite band.
Yeah.
Same.
So my friend Derek and Tyler introduced me to Muse long before that, but Black Holes and Revelations was the concert that I saw them. The first time
really?
I saw them live, and it blew my mind
How
out
much?
my butt.
How much did the light show cost them?
Oh yeah, so on that concert, they had this crazy light show and stage setup. There are like 3 pillars and tons of big screens on the pillars, and sometimes the screens were all individual images. Sometimes they all work together, and they would go up and down these pillars, and the 3 musicians were on one on each pillar. And
Dang.
the light show I heard cost $2 million. Just
Oh my
the like
gosh.
light setup.
For one show.
Yeah. Well, they traveled with it though, so I think it was like
Well,
$2
okay.
million for.
$2 million each.
Yeah. But it was like, it seriously was the best concert I've ever been to in my life by far, and I've been to a lot of concerts.
I remember you showed us this video, or you looked it up, and you were having trouble finding it, but you finally found it.
Oh,
and they started with Uprising,
Yeah.
and
Wait, Uprising.
yeah. Well, that's
Is
what
that
the
on
video-
Black Holes and Revelations?
No, it's not. That's the song that played though. Oh, I don't think you found it. But
I don't know.
they were on 3 pillars, and you were like, "Oh, this is it." And there was like this one laser going up in front of the singer, and he had this little cylinder thing in his hand, and he was reflecting the laser off of it, and it was shooting a bunch of other lasers out, and he'd just shake it around over the audience.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember that video.
So, for me, that's why I think probably Black Holes and Revelations is my favorite, and it has my favorite song of Muse on there, which is Map of the Problematique.
Is that on
Oh,
the same
nice.
album?
Black Holes and Revelations.
Oh my gosh.
And that was I hadn't heard that song before until they played it live. And I was like,
Oh my
what
gosh.
is this song? This is my favorite song ever.
That's probably like the coolest song they've ever made, I think.
Yeah.
My favorite song is Starlight, but that's probably like the most insane song.
I love it.
I love that song.
It's kind of dark feeling. Makes you think about stuff.
Their music just makes me think of the future.
Well, yeah.
But so the album before that was Absolution, and that is amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna say if Black Holes and Revelations isn't my favorite, it's probably Absolution.
And then Simulation Theory is probably
Yeah.
third.
Agreed.
And the other two are awesome, but it's like they have a few really, really good songs and a few good songs. Whereas like those three albums, I can listen to the whole thing and I love every song on them.
Well, they've come out with they had Showbiz, Origin of Symmetry. Those had some good songs.
Yeah, those are
It
the
was-
ones I'm talking about. And then there's like Second Law and
Resistance.
Resistance
I like-
Resistance and Drones.
and Drones.
Oh yeah.
And those have like I said, they have a couple really good songs, and then most are just good to me.
Yeah.
But the three albums, Absolution, Black Holes and Revelations, and Simulation Theory, I just love every single song.
Agreed. Have you been to besides that first concert, have you been to another Muse concert, Paul?
Nope.
I went to one last year.
That sucked. Just kidding.
So, the very first people were called Paris, which nobody knew them. I guess they were trying to get their name out. They played a couple songs, and it's a girl singer. And they were actually good. But she just said how crazy it was going on tour with Muse and 30 Seconds to Mars, which was the
Opening.
band that opened for Muse.
Yeah.
And
But the problem with Cole's concert was that it was at USANA Amphitheater, which does not have very good sound for a concert. So
So we're going to see it at the Utah Jazz Arena, Vivint
Yeah.
Smart Home Arena. Is that going to be good?
that's
you
where I
think?
saw him.
Oh,
first.
really?
And it seriously was amazing. The sound is so good in there.
yeah.
Dang, I am so excited.
I've only seen two concerts there. It was Muse, and then the very first concert I ever saw was Green Day,
Oh, Green.
and Jimmy Eat
Oh,
World
heck
opened
yeah.
for him.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah, Jimmy Eat World opened. Green Day was the headline, and it was awesome. That was probably the second best concert I've been to.
Well, this is only the second concert I've ever been to.
What?
This
I
will be
know.
the third.
I used to spend all my money going to concerts.
Yeah, we
Well-
all saw the first one that Tanner and I saw at least was 311.
311.
At
Which-
USANA, right?
Yeah, which
Yeah.
was introed or opened by Sublime.
Yeah, with Rome. Which, yeah, that sucked.
Did it suck? I loved it.
I know.
I don't know. I don't have
No,
anything to
it's
compare it
it's
against.
fun. Like USANA. So those of you who don't know, USANA is an outdoor amphitheater. So the sound just is not as good as an indoor concert. So just you wait.
Oh,
I mean, there was this one couple that was just like making out in front
Oh,
of us.
yeah.
Pretty
Pretty
really
hardcore.
gross.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
looking around and there were so many couples that were so close to each other. And
But we did. Well, actually, I don't think either of you did. But Dad and I went into the mosh pit. That was crazy.
oh yeah, I didn't see.
And I
it.
wasn't even that old. I don't even know why Dad let me go in there.
He threw you in.
I lasted like 2 seconds before I got laid out.
It's like
But they were
that-
like they didn't want you to get trampled, so he picked me up super fast. So
It's
I
like
was-
that culture that like sends their youth off into the wilderness and they have to like kill a wolf or something.
That was
Are you talking about like Spartans?
Yes.
Like ancient Sparta?
This is Dad's ritual. He throws all his sons into a mosh pit.
Well, I came out a man.
Yep.
But anyway, the thing that really sucked about the Muse concert I saw was 30 Seconds to Mars could have been amazing, but the people in there were so stupid. Like,
The crowd.
I was sitting in the bleachers,
Which USANA has the closest seats are the bleachers, and then the general admission is up above, which like doesn't have good sound at all. So basically, Cole was closer to the stage than at the 311 concert, right?
Yes.
Because the closest seats are actual seats. Where most concerts, the closest is people standing up. But anyways, go on.
But I was like, just when 30 Seconds to Mars came out, I was just so ready to go crazy. But people around me were sitting down, and they weren't even bopping their head to music. They were just staring, not making any movement. And I wanted to slap them all.
Didn't he say something too?
Yes, Jared Leto. After like a couple songs, he's like, "I'm sorry, but who are all these people sitting on their A's?" And we were laughing, and then a few people started booing. And
They're giving Utah a bad name.
and he's like, "No, it's okay. I know what it's like to be old." And
Mocking the crowd.
he was so
That's what
funny
you
though.
want.
All right, so I have a few little fun facts about the album, Simulation Theory.
All right.
First, it was co-produced with Rich Costi, Mike Elizondo, I don't know them, Shellbeck, and then Timbaland.
Timbaland?
Yeah,
What?
I know. I thought that was
Okay.
interesting.
Wait, so what did he do?
Timbaland co-produced it, some of the tracks.
That I can almost hear that.
I
now.
know. He definitely
Yeah.
has a sound that I can hear in him. Cole brought this up. It just was influenced by 80s sci-fi films and stuff, pop culture.
Yeah, which is what they went for in their music videos. I mean, one, they did a Michael Jackson dance. Another,
Yeah.
they spoofed Back to the Future and
Yeah.
a bunch of other things. It was cool.
So they started in London, and then they went on tour in North America, and then they continued production in Los Angeles in late 2017 with Costi, one of the ones that co-produced it. And I found out he previously produced Muse's albums Absolution and Black Holes and Revelations.
Really? Oh,
Which,
no.
is that a coincidence
Oh,
that
no.
those are the three best albums?
Yeah.
That's
They
crazy.
should keep that guy around more.
Yeah, so they should definitely
Yeah.
use him. The album cover, the art, it was designed by Kyle Lambert, who did Stranger Things.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I totally see that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I love that, like, 80s sci-fi is coming into
So
view.
they're trying to decide a direction for this album, and Matt Bellamy says he entertained the possibility of experimenting with hip hop or making another attempt at creating a stripped down acoustic sound. And you can kind of hear a couple of hip hop, not so much, but the acoustic sound in a few songs.
Yeah.
Let's see.
They kind of have the acoustic guitar in Something Human.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they wanted to like blend different eras of music, and they cited Lana Del Rey, which I don't really know a ton of her music, but I guess she mixes 50s style with like modern lyrics.
Wow.
And so
Okay.
they listed some examples here of mixing different genres. So the opening track Algorithm features a musical juxtaposition between classical piano and 80s synthesizers and chip tunes. Something Human is a rock song inspired by folk rock.
Yeah.
And that's written to counteract the dark vibe of drones. They're other album. Bellamy described it as a tender, down-to-earth, simplistic song that describes the burnout and homesickness he felt towards the end of the tour.
Interesting.
Yeah, now that I hear it, it just makes the song so much better for some reason.
Yeah, because during the song, it's like 5,000 miles left on the road, less than a mile. Like, it keeps going down and down until he's finally home, crawling through the door. Pressure is a power pop track with contrasting horns and guitars.
That's one of the best ones.
I think that one's my favorite one on their new album.
Yeah. What else?
Some people are shining their headlights.
Yeah, someone pulled up in front of us with their brights on. There's like a whole empty parking lot, and they pulled up right in front of us. Oh, this was cool. This is about how they created the album. Rather than concentrating on the album as a whole, as they had on previous albums, Muse focused on recording and mixing one track at a time. The band hoped this would improve the individual quality of the songs, and they worked with no particular theme in mind, even halfway through its production. So,
Dang.
even though it sounds like they started with the idea as an album, I guess they just did one song at a time and completed one and then moved on to the next, and it turned into that.
Yeah,
So that was
That's
cool.
cool. I really like that, actually.
They released like
That makes sense.
Dig Down, Simulate. Wait.
Yeah, they had
Thought Contagion.
a few singles.
3, 4, 5 singles before.
They released the album.
Okay. So the truck pulled up in front of us, the lights went out, and now there's no one in the car, which...
Well, no, I saw him leave.
What? I didn't see them. I thought
It's an AI.
it's a Tesla Cadillac truck.
They also, I already said this, they plan on releasing a music video for every track that are science fiction themed.
Aren't they all? Actually...
Yeah, I think that's about it. Critical reception, they got like, I guess there's a scale of 100. And it, from mainstream critics, and it has an average score of 63.
What?
Out of what? 100?
Yeah. Which is
Why
not...
so low?
Well, so based on 19 reviews, only...
Sorry.
Based on 19 reviews, only 6 of them were favorable.
Why?
I don't know. But
doesn't
what
make any
do
sense.
critics know, though? You know?
That's a good point.
Have you seen Rotten Tomatoes compared to audience view?
So here's the review scores. Metacritic is that's the one I just cited, is 63 out of 100. All Music got 4 stars. Classic Rock got 4 stars. DIY got 3. The Guardian got 3. Kerrang got 4. NME got 4. Pitchfork got 6 out of 10. Rolling Stones gave it 3.
What?
Oh, screw them.
Yeah, they don't know.
Okay.
They don't know.
We should just like become critics
I know.
and like fix the critic industry
Yeah,
because they suck.
just become critics. I've always just wanted to be a food critic, a restaurant critic. Just get paid to go eat.
We should do that when I come down from school.
How?
We'll go to
no one's gonna
restaurants.
pay us.
Not to like we can do it on the podcast.
Oh.
We can make an episode.
Okay.
And then say if you pay us, you can be on a podcast.
No. What we have to do is build up we have to write very articulate, entertaining reviews about everywhere we go, and people will start noticing us and start following us.
Oh.
And then restaurants will pay us to come review their food.
There we go. Okay.
I thought you were going to say some Nathan for you.
All right, so now on to simulation theory.
Yes.
Do you guys know what it is?
Tanner told me. I think he's lying, though.
Well, Paul kind of told me, and then I kind of told you, but like, I still don't really understand.
When?
It was a while ago.
I specifically told you guys not to research it.
I didn't research it.
I didn't
and
research it. This was like over
Oh, this
Christmas
wasn't
break or
today.
something. This was a while ago.
This, and his paper says simulation hypothesis.
Hypothesis.
Simulation hypothesis. So this could be something else completely.
It's not. It's the same thing. So
Well, explain it, because
All
I don't
right.
even remember what it was.
I'll just read the first paragraph on Wikipedia. Very, very reliable source.
According
Oh,
to
yeah.
Michael Scott.
The simulation hypothesis or simulation theory proposes that all of reality, including the Earth and the universe, is in fact an artificial simulation, most likely a computer simulation. Some versions rely on the development of a simulated reality, a proposed technology that would seem realistic enough to convince its inhabitants the simulation was real. The hypothesis has been a central plot device of many science fiction stories and films. Did that make sense? So
Yeah.
basically,
If you could elaborate.
It's the
yeah.
Matrix.
yes. So basically, well, not even the Matrix.
For those of us who haven't seen The Matrix,
Oh, no. You haven't seen the Matrix?
I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay.
Neither have I.
So basically, I think everything is a simulation, including us. So we're Sims. So you know the game Sims on the computer?
You know,
I know of it.
I first heard of that when there was some article saying how people would just do evil things to the Sims and have them go insane and stuff.
Well,
It was kind of evil.
basically it's a world that you create and you make these people and they have their separate lives or whatever.
Oh, like Second Life on The Office.
Yeah, yes. That's a simulation game. Except, well, not really. It is, but at the same time, you are controlling one person, so that's just a game, basically. Where a simulation game, you're not controlling, like, you don't have a character that you play, and the rest of the game just is created by someone else. You create everything in the game, basically.
Okay.
And so
That's what simulation is? Or
like a simulation game. So like Sims, I've never played Sims, but basically
sounds stupid.
you create their house, you tell them what job they have, you just do everything, create this algorithm basically, even though you're not doing the code, and then they go about their lives and you can like manipulate it and stuff. But it's basically them living their lives in the simulation you created.
Oh. Okay.
So basically, that is simulation theory, is that we are a simulation from a very, very futuristic, experienced race that has enough intelligence and power to create a simulation this big.
I mean, it kind of sounds like God, but
Yep.
like more sciencey.
Yeah, so basically, the simulation
and
theory is someone, a future human or different race or whatever, species, I should say, with extremely high intelligence that had enough intelligence and whatever to create a simulation that would basically start with what Adam and Eve or whatever, if you want to believe that story. So the simulation would start with them, and then they would basically create, kids, and so it's thousands of generations of simulation that we've created. We have consciousness, and we've ended up creating this world, but we're really just computer code, basically, that someone created.
But the creator can come in and like change things.
Change it. Yeah.
So that would be like miracles.
Oh.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Oh,
It can do whatever it
When
wants.
Moses parted the Red Sea.
Yeah. So basically, that's the theory, which obviously we don't believe because we believe we were created in the image of God by God, and we're His literal children. So we don't believe it, but it is a very interesting theory.
It is.
So I'll just read a little more about it. Many works of science fiction, as well as some forecasts by serious technologists and futurologists, predict that enormous amounts of computing power will be available in the future. Let us suppose for a moment that these predictions are correct. One thing that later generations might do with their super powerful computers is run detailed simulations of their forebears, or of people like their forebears. Because their computers would be so powerful, they could run a great many such simulations. Suppose that these simulated people are conscious.
So it's like we're in a computer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
A car just pulled up next to us and then saw that we were sitting in there, so she sped away and hit there's a big like ice mound next to us. And like ripped around and went over and found another parking spot. Oh my gosh, and now there's a truck parking right in front of us again.
What?
This is ridiculous.
Start honking. Tell them to move
Okay.
it.
Anyways, let me go on with his quote. So, simulations were sufficiently fine-grained, and if a certain quite widely accepted position in the philosophy of mind is correct, then it would be the case that the vast majority of minds like ours do not belong to the original race, but rather to a people simulated by the advanced descendants of an original race. It is then possible to argue that if this were the case, we would be rational to think that we are likely among the simulated minds rather than among the original biological ones. Therefore, if we don't think that we are currently living in a computer simulation, we are not entitled to believe that we will have descendants who will run lots of such simulations of their forebears. So basically, he's saying if we don't believe that we are in a simulation, then we also can't believe that that's a possibility in the future. Because if it is a possibility, then the more likely scenario is that we are part of a simulation than part of the actual biological original race. Because I guess statistically speaking, there's a higher % chance that if that is possible, that we would be part of a simulation rather than the actual original species.
But we have our own like simulations, like Sims. But like
Yeah,
I'm sure
but
there's more advanced ones than that.
There
So
are,
this,
but
like-
there's nothing close to the technology that it would take to create a simulation this advanced.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, they created a simulation of us, and then we, the simulation, created our own simulation. So it's simulation within a simulation.
Well, that's what
Simulationception.
No, that's what they're saying. Is if it did get to a point where someone was able to create a simulation like this, then that simulation would create more simulations, and those simulations would create more simulations. That's why it would be statistically more probable, if that was possible, that we would be part of a simulation instead of the original species.
Oh,
Because there's way more simulations in the universe than there would be.
So this is arguing that like our creators are simulations themselves, more than likely.
Yeah, more than likely there's who knows how many simulations creating simulations, if it's possible.
Interesting.
What hippie
Well.
said this?
I think it's really cool.
I mean,
I mean,
I think it's cool.
If we didn't believe in religion, it's pretty solid theory with where technology's going, like artificial intelligence and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, does it bug you that the person that parked in front of us is parked in 2 lanes and just walked away?
Yeah, the truck that's parked in front of us is diagonally parked in 2 lanes.
I hate those people.
Anyways, so there's an argument to that. Some philosophers disagree, proposing that perhaps Sims do not have conscious experiences the same way that unsimulated humans do, or that it can otherwise be self-evident to a human that they are a human rather than a sim. So basically, the fact that we're talking about this right now means that we're not a simulation.
Contradicts the theory.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry.
I mean, why not? Like, why can't you create a simulation that can perceive its own simulation?
Okay.
Sorry, what was that?
Why can't you create a simulation that can perceive itself as a simulation? Why is that discounted?
Because it's not even come close to in technology that we know of, I think. And what is consciousness, really?
We're going really deep with this one.
You know what I mean, though? Like, I think that's a testament that we have spirits and that we're more than just our bodies, because we are aware that we exist. We're conscious of everything. We're conscious of our thoughts. You know what I mean? Like, what are thoughts?
Yeah.
And so this is also where I would agree with the simulation theory doesn't work, is that I don't think simulations could be conscious enough to be able to think like this.
And then get angry.
Think about thinking.
Get angry about that they're fake and then overthrow us.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
in order to be able to think about thinking is different than a computer that would be programmed to make decisions. Like, artificial intelligence would be programmed to make decisions in certain situations, right? But it wouldn't have the ability to think about that. Think about why it's making decisions and then think about, you know what I mean? Like, go that deep.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of discussed that in Inception, when they're on Dr. Mann's planet, and he's like, I don't know why he does this, probably to build suspense or whatever, but he starts talking about why they had to send humans on these missions to go explore the other planets, is because if you send a machine doesn't adapt well to situations.
Are you talking
because
about...
you can't program a fear of death.
Are you talking about Interstellar?
Yeah, I just said Interstellar.
You said Inception.
My bad.
I'm
They're interchangeable.
They're not.
I think it's funny. The second person that parked next to us decided to park somewhere else just because they saw us in this car.
Everyone's scared of you guys.
Yep. We're slowly being surrounded, though.
But yeah, like, I can understand that. Like, we can get complex, and I think we will get much more complex in how we program programs and robots and
I do
AI
too.
and stuff like that. But I don't think we can ever program like something complex enough to experience human intelligence.
Yeah. And cognition.
Yeah.
Because AI already does adapt. Like, they've programmed it to be able to adapt to stuff. There's a freaky video that my professor showed me that it was this Google thing they're creating, like Google phone or something. That's a artificial intelligence that all they said was make a hair appointment for 5 o'clock. And so Google calls their hair place. The guy answers. The Google's like, hey, can I make an appointment for 5 o'clock? It sounds just like a human. The guy's on the other line is like, yeah, hold on 1 second. Goes back, comes back and says, oh, we actually are all booked up at 5. Would you be able to do it another day? And then Google answers and is like, yeah, do you have any mornings available? Or something like that. And the guy's like, let me see. We have Tuesday morning at 9. Would that work? Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, I'll set you schedule. All right, thanks. Bye. Like a complete conversation adapting to a change. The guy didn't have an opening at 5, and the computer knew how to change and set another appointment for an opening in the guy's schedule or whatever.
I want an AI like that.
It's insane, though, what they're capable of. But it still doesn't even come close to being able to be cognitive like a human.
Yeah.
So, or even an animal.
You know, it's scary thinking we can make something so smart, and I'd prefer we didn't try it.
Well, the world's probably going to end before it gets too crazy.
Okay.
Hopefully.
I mean, there's movies about that too. Like, what's that one? Chappie, I think. I haven't seen it, but I've seen the preview. And it's like this AI that's so smart that they.
What about Smart House?
I heard Chappie sucked.
What about Smart House on Disney? The Disney Channel.
What? I
don't get Disney Channel.
I know. This was when I was like a young kid. And it's a stupid movie, but it's a classic.
Okay.
It's a smart house that becomes aware of herself and takes over. And like traps them all and stuff.
I think. Yet I am. Just kidding. That's what Dad said when we were watching Rise of the...
I think, therefore I am?
Yeah. We were watching that... Or Dad said that when we were watching Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and he gave them that drug that made them smarter.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Okay, so now let's just pretend we are in a simulation.
Okay.
We are Sims. All right, so this is what I'm going to read a paragraph that says consequences of living in a simulation. Economist Robin Hanson argues a self-interested, high-fidelity sim should strive to be entertaining and praiseworthy in order to avoid being turned off or being shunted into a non-conscious, low-fidelity part of the simulation. Hansen additionally speculates that someone who is aware that he might be a sim might care less about others and live more for today. Your motivation...
Dramatic pause.
Your motivation to save for retirement or to help the poor in Ethiopia might be muted by realizing that in your simulation, you will never retire and there is no Ethiopia. Nothing's real. Yet everything's real. Just kidding. I thought that was kind of funny. So basically, if we are simulations, we need to be extremely entertaining and praiseworthy, or whoever's in charge is going to kill us. Kill us off.
Kevin Hart must be terrified if he knows.
Why? Because they didn't let him host the Oscars? The simulation guy is going to be like, oh, what? Turned off.
Here's an argument, though. Who's to say what the other person or our creators find
entertaining
and admirable or whatever?
Not admirable, entertaining. If you,
you said entertaining and something.
Praiseworthy.
Yeah.
It's like tons of awesome accomplishments or whatever.
Yeah.
But think about it. If you created a sim, would you want just like good people to be happy and go around being nice to each other all the time? That'd
No.
be really boring to watch.
Yeah.
Unless it's your own kids.
I gotta be honest.
Like God.
Well, I don't know. You're the only dad here, so
I gotta be honest. Like, when I heard about the things that people did on the game Sims, it kind of frightened me.
Well, that's the
even
thing
though
is you want lots of action and stuff. That's why, and conflict. So if you're a crazy person, the Sim creator is not going to turn you off. He's going to be like, this is freaking awesome.
Is that why he loved Hitler so much?
Oh, wow.
So all the good, virtuous people are actually just like screwing us.
Boring.
Well, the other thing is, though, all the Sims have created their lives, right? Like he didn't create the lives for them. They were created by the original Sims that are our ancestors, and so basically all of the simulations leading up to us have created our situation. So basically the creator can, if he doesn't like someone, he can kill them, but we can also kill each other. Because we have agency, apparently, in simulation theory. But
Do we have agency though?
I
mean, this kind of goes back to even without simulation theory. There's the whole with every decision we make, how much of it is determined by nature and how much of it is determined by nurture. But if we find out like the equation for how much of that determines every decision, then is it really us deciding, or is it just everything that led to us deciding?
It's really us deciding. You can.
I mean, we believe that we're like eternal spirits, that we've always existed, so that doesn't really make sense. But
So, like in other people's beliefs in simulation theory.
Do we believe that we always existed?
Yeah,
yes, cool.
as intelligences.
I thought there was
Mormonism
someone,
101,
I thought it was
or-
just someone before us, and there was always an upward generation.
There always was someone before, but you can't create matter, you organize it, basically. And so...
And the same goes for life and intelligence.
Yeah, so we're always some sort of intelligence in the universe that God organized into a spirit.
Are spirits made out of matter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mormonism 101.
What was I gonna finish? Oh, I was just gonna talk about the Matrix, especially since Tanner hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. Isn't it like
Oh,
rated
wow.
R?
Well, it was like PG-13, and then they decided to make it rated R, and then they decided to make it PG-13 again or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But basically, it's a human race. It's not a simulation, but everyone is living in a simulation that's really crappy, actually. And one day, Neo, who's the main guy, decides, and he's actually a Christ figure in the movie.
Huh.
Like he has to sacrifice himself to save mankind and stuff like that, and he's the chosen
I mean,
one.
don't spoil it.
Well, that didn't spoil anything.
Okay.
Anyways, basically he's so there is a section of humanity that has realized they're living in a simulation and escapes it. And they're like living outside of the simulation. And they know that Neo is the chosen one somehow. And so they send Morpheus to go get Neo to join them, basically. And Morpheus tells Neo he can either choose So he has 2 pills, and I can't remember which one is which, red and blue. But he's like, if you choose the red pill, you'll just forget this conversation ever happened and go back to living in the simulation, which is fine. Like, basically, he's living a normal life right now. He's like, or you can choose this blue pill and leave the matrix, which is what they call the simulation. And so anyways, he chooses the blue pill and leaves the matrix and realizes that the entire thing is a computer generated simulation that robots have like taken over. Like basically they gained enough intelligence and stuff to take over. And so then the movies are basically them fighting the computer for the rest of the movies.
Okay.
So anyways, you guys should see that.
Okay. I saw on his trailers.
That doesn't count. Yeah. Anyway, so that's simulation theory. We're all computer code. That's all. That's it.
Is there anything in Muse's new album that talks about?
Yeah. Living in a simulation.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there's some lyrics and stuff.
Oh. Apparently, the type of music.
I think Algorithms talks a lot about.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would think that one.
It's like with your creator. I know it says that, and it says simulation in that song.
Apparently, the type of music Muse makes is called space rock.
Says who?
Says a reporter.
Space rock?
Hey, it makes sense.
Well, didn't they say that? And the guy reported on it? Or something? I feel like someone asked them, like, what type of music exactly do you play? And they're like, we call it space rock or something. Something like that. Maybe not. I could be wrong.
False information. Just kidding.
Nice.
Who knows?
It makes sense.
No, this podcast is the most reliable source of information.
We fact
there
check
is.
everything we say. That's what
We
Cole's
do.
doing in his internship. He's on a laptop constantly.
Exactly.
All right, well that's it. I think we got to go see Bohemian Rhapsody. So
And I will be down there in, like a week and a half, 2 weeks, to go see the Muse concert.
actually, it's more like 3 weeks. I think.
Is it?
I don't know.
It's today's
28th.
the 12th, and it's on the 28th.
Like
So,
2.5 weeks.
16.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna film the whole show.
So,
No,
yeah.
you're not. Do you like
So
when
we will-
people film rock concerts on their cell phones the whole time, and then they look at the videos after, and it's just like.
Yeah.
And they're like, why didn't I just enjoy the concert?
I mean, especially like if they post it on Facebook or Instagram or something. It's like, I mean, even if it's kind of good quality, I'm not going to sit there and watch 20 minutes of
Someone on
your
their
phone recording of some concert.
Yeah. Except
So-
they do have a video of Jimmy Eat World doing an acoustic song.
Oh, is that
That's
so
awesome.
cool?
If it's like cool or like close up or something like that, but like, I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like, no offense to anyone I follow on Instagram or Facebook or anything, but so many people post like such long videos, and it's like, I
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool that you went and saw him, but this is so long.
Yep.
So, yeah.
But
We
yeah,
will report
that
on
video.
how the concert goes.
Oh, yes, we will. We will. And we'll also think of a name for our podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Well, until next time.
Bye.
See ya.